Chosen one. They're stressed because of what you know, spiraling so hard they're making complete fools of themselves in the process. What unfolds next is restoration with interest. What left returns upgraded. Access expands, rooms open, purpose accelerates. And those unraveling now will witness the results firsthand, unable to look away. You remember that moment, the precise second when everything clicked into place. Maybe something was said that contradicted an earlier statement. Maybe you noticed energy shifting when certain people entered the room. Maybe that inner knowing tapped your shoulder and whispered, "Pay close attention." Whatever it was, you felt it deep in your spirit. Instead of reacting, you observed. You watched stories change. You noticed how someone's entire demeanor transformed, depending on the audience. You saw smiles that never reached the eyes. You caught inconsistencies that most people miss, and you did not confront any of it. You did not call it out. You did not give anyone the satisfaction of knowing you were onto the game. You filed away every detail for future reference. This is what separates you from those who operate in darkness. You respond rather than react. You strategize rather than emotionalize. You wait for the perfect moment rather than showing your hand too early. Your moment has arrived. Actually, your moment started the second you decided to stop participating in someone else's chaos and start building your own empire. The plan required you confused. The scheme needed you reactive. The whole operation depended on you scrambling to figure out what was real and what was performance. That destabilization was the goal. Keep you questioning yourself, keep you caught up in drama, keep you so distracted that you forget your power. But it never worked. You never forgot who you are. You never lost sight of your vision. You never handed anyone the keys to your peace. Lies are being produced like products on an assembly line. The goal is simple: get ahead of the truth, control the narrative, clean up the mess. But here is where everything becomes beautiful for you. Those lies are contradicting each other. One person says this happened, another swears something else went down. None of these versions can coexist in the same reality. A new problem has emerged. The lies are no longer just about you. Now there are internal battles about which lie is the official version. Arguments are erupting about whose story to stick with. In trying to protect themselves, people are exposing each other. You are watching this implosion from a place of complete peace. You are not stressed. You are not scrambling. You are not defending yourself against fiction. You understand something powerful. Truth does not need defense. Truth just needs time. And time is doing its work spectacularly right now. Every passing day, those fabrications get more tangled. Every conversation reveals new contradictions. More people start seeing through the fog. The contrast becomes undeniable. Chaos surrounds certain people while peace radiates from you. Breakdowns happen over there while breakthroughs happen over here. People notice these things. People watch patterns. People ask questions when nothing adds up. How is the person everyone tried to destroy the one who is thriving? How is the one who was counted out the one who is winning? The answer destroys every false narrative that was created. You were never the problem. You were the target of people who could not handle your light. You need to understand something about what was taken from you. This was not random. This was not accidental. Certain people could feel something on you, a marking, a calling, an access to levels beyond their reach. Instead of celebrating your rise, there was an attempt to sabotage it. Instead of supporting your journey, there was interference. Instead of learning from your example, there was an attempt at destruction. Your peace was attacked. Your confidence was challenged. Your relationships were targeted. Your opportunities were blocked. Everything that made you powerful became a focus point for someone else's insecurity. Why? Because breaking you meant possibly intercepting what was meant for you. There was an actual belief that hurting you badly enough or delaying you long enough would somehow transfer your blessing to someone else. But here is what operating in darkness never accounts for. Chosen ones do not lose what is written in the stars. You can delay a divine assignment. You can make the journey more difficult. You can throw every obstacle imaginable in the path, but you cannot stop what the universe has already decreed. While you walked through fire, while you navigated valleys, while you faced betrayal, something else was happening simultaneously. Your blessing was being prepared behind the scenes. Your next level was being arranged in rooms you have not entered yet. Your divine connections were being aligned before you even knew their names. Now watch what happens. Everything that was stolen is coming back. But listen closely, it is not returning in the same form. That relationship that was destroyed, you are about to experience connection that makes you understand why the old had to end. That opportunity that was blocked. You are about to walk through doors you never knew existed. That peace that was disturbed. You are about to live in serenity that external chaos cannot penetrate. There is someone suffering in ways you cannot see right now. This person had you, the real you, the loyal you, the version of you that shows up without conditions, the version that holds people down through storms, the version that loves without games or manipulation. And this soul threw it all away like it was nothing. You gave chances, you showed up consistently, you proved your loyalty repeatedly. What happened? Tests, disrespect, being taken for granted. There was an assumption that you would always be there regardless of treatment. There was a belief that your love had no limits. There was an arrogance that games could be played without consequences. That was the first mistake. The second mistake, allowing outsiders to influence decisions that should have been internal, letting jealous voices poison perspective, letting insecure individuals plant seeds of doubt about the very person who was actually the solution. Now that person sits alone, realizing gold was traded for copper. Something real was exchanged for something fake. Lasting peace was sacrificed for temporary excitement. You know what is eating that soul alive right now? Comparisons. Everyone who comes into the picture gets measured against you, and nobody comes close. Attempts are being made to fill the void you left. Nothing works. There are searches for that same energy, that same connection, that same feeling. It does not exist anywhere else. What you gave was rare, unique, irreplaceable, and you cannot replace the irreplaceable. This truth arrived too late. If this resonates with your inner knowing, hype this video to help fellow chosen ones find their way here. You appeared to be unaware, not because awareness was lacking, but because you understood something powerful. When people believe their schemes are working, they get comfortable, they get sloppy, they reveal more than intended, and that is exactly what unfolded. Someone thought you did not notice the movements, the lies, the energy shifts, so boldness increased, carelessness followed. Too much was said, too many people got involved. Moves were made that only make sense if you were blind, but you were not blind. You were watchful, you were gathering evidence, you were documenting patterns. You did not confront at first sight. You did not explode at first betrayal. You did not react when you first felt the knife. You waited. You observed. You allowed the illusion of victory, and while celebration happened over there, you were preparing for your real victory over here. This is what is causing mental chaos right now. There is a realization that you saw everything, all those moments when you could have said something but chose silence, all those times when you could have exposed the game but decided to wait. That silence was not weakness, that patience was not ignorance, and now there is scrambling to figure out what else you know, what other information you have that has not been played yet. That uncertainty is devastating. Something is shifting and you can feel it. The entire table is turning. What was upside down is flipping right side up. What was delayed is accelerating. What was blocked is opening wide, and certain people are watching this happen in real time without any power to stop it. Doors that were sealed are swinging open. Opportunities that seemed impossible are materializing. People aligned with your purpose are appearing. Resources you needed are flowing in, and the speed might even overwhelm you. This is how divine timing operates. It builds behind the scenes silently and then breaks through all at once like a dam releasing water. Your haters are experiencing physical illness over this. That green-eyed monster has them in a chokehold. The expectation was to see you stuck. Instead, you are soaring. The hope was to see you broken. Instead, you are whole. The desire was to see you struggling. Instead, you are succeeding. Every win you achieve feels like a personal loss to someone else. Every door that opens for you feels like a door closing for another. Every blessing you receive reminds certain people of what was thrown away. Here is the poetic justice. There can be no voice given to this jealousy without self-exposure. No expression of frustration is possible without revealing a role in attempted destruction. So there is sitting, watching, silence, bitterness, resentment, anger, complete powerlessness to change what is unfolding. The table has flipped. The script has changed. You are writing the ending now. Do you know why complete foolishness is on display right now? Desperation. When plans fail, panic sets in. Moves get made from fear instead of strategy. Actions stop making sense. Contradictions happen in public. True nature gets exposed. And that is exactly what is happening. Erratic behavior is evident. Statements that do not add up are being made. Public contradictions are occurring. People are noticing. People who believe the lies are starting to question. People who chose sides are starting to see truth. The mask is cracking. The facade is falling. Everyone is getting a clear view of what is really there. You are not trying to expose anyone. You are not telling your side everywhere. You are not trying to convince anyone of anything. You are living your life. You are healing. You are glowing. You are winning. And that is exposing lies more effectively than any words could. The contrast between your peace and someone else's chaos is undeniable. The difference between your growth and another's regression is obvious. Your life is the testimony destroying false narratives. People watch you carry yourself with grace while others fall apart. People see you succeed while others struggle. People notice you elevate while others deteriorate. And conclusions are being drawn without your input. No explanation is needed from you. Your glow-up is telling the whole story. Your breakthrough is revealing all truth. Your victory is exposing every lie. There is justice unfolding that has nothing to do with your effort. You did not pray for downfall. You did not wish harm. You did not plot revenge. But the universe has a way of balancing scales. What goes out comes back. And a lot of darkness went out. The desire was to see you suffer. Now suffering is happening over there. The hope was to see you stuck. Now being stuck is the reality over there. The goal was to see you destroyed. Now destruction is happening through personal choices over there. This is not revenge. This is consequence. This is natural law. This is sowing and reaping. Nobody escapes it. You are watching certain people go through exactly what was intended for you. The pain, the confusion, the loss, the betrayal. Part of you could feel sorry, but a bigger part understands this is necessary. This is the lesson. This is the growth opportunity. This is the chance to look in the mirror and face what has been done. Whether that opportunity gets taken is not your concern. Meanwhile, you are walking into the most blessed season of your existence. Peace that surpasses understanding is yours. Opportunities beyond your wildest dreams are manifesting. Connections with people who value you are forming. All of this is happening because you chose differently. You chose healing over bitterness. You chose growth over stagnation. You chose faith over fear. That choice is paying dividends beyond calculation. Here is what you do not see because you are building your empire. Certain people are deteriorating, not just emotionally, physically. The stress of what you know and what might be revealed is manifesting in bodies. Sleep is lost night after night. Anxiety is at peak levels. Snapping happens at innocent people. Mistakes are being made at work. Other relationships are suffering because focus is impossible. The wildest part, you are not even thinking about these people. Revenge is not being plotted. Exposure is not being planned. You are literally just living your life and healing and growing. But in certain minds you are this massive threat. You have been built up to be this calculated enemy, strategically planning downfall. When reality is you just want peace. You just want to move forward. You just want freedom from the whole situation. But acceptance cannot happen. Because accepting that you have moved on means facing what was done for no reason. It means sitting with the fact that something real was destroyed for absolutely nothing. It means acknowledging that you were never the villain. The truth is too painful to process. So instead there is a created narrative where you are secretly plotting, where you are dangerous, where you are the problem. You know what you know, you saw what you saw, you experienced what you experienced. No amount of lies or projections or false narratives can change that. People who matter know the truth. The divine knows the truth. Most importantly, you know the truth. That is all that matters. Everyone else can believe whatever brings comfort. You are not responsible for correcting every lie. You are not obligated to defend yourself to closed minds. You just keep moving. You just keep rising. You just keep winning. You know what really has them losing sleep. It is not just that you figured out what happened. It is what you know about why it happened in the first place. You understand the motives now with perfect clarity. You see the insecurities that drove every decision. You recognize the jealousy that fueled every action against you. You identified the fear that motivated every single betrayal. And that level of insight terrifies people who thought their masks were secure enough to never slip. You know who was involved and what role each person played in the scheme. You can trace the timeline of when things shifted in the relationship. You remember the exact moments when truth revealed itself to you clearly. You documented the contradictions without anyone realizing you were paying such close attention. You connected dots that people assumed would stay scattered forever. And now you sit on a complete picture while others scramble desperately trying to figure out how much of that picture you actually possess. You did not just see what happened on the surface level, you understood what was happening beneath it all. You recognized the manipulation tactics being deployed against you. You identified the gaslighting attempts in real time as they occurred. You saw through the projection when people tried to make their issues your problem. You caught the deflection when accountability should have been taken immediately. You witnessed the lies being constructed before they were even fully formed in conversations. This depth of awareness changes everything for you moving forward. You are not operating from a place of confusion anymore. You are not questioning your perception of reality constantly. You are not second-guessing what you experienced in those moments. You know exactly what went down between all parties involved. You understand exactly why it went down the way it did. And you have clarity about exactly who made it happen deliberately. That clarity is your power now, in every interaction. That certainty is your foundation going forward into new relationships. That knowledge is your protection moving into your next season. You are no longer accessible to their games anymore. You are no longer available for their manipulation attempts. You are no longer open to their lies being presented as truth. Your boundaries became unshakable the moment you understood what you were actually dealing with. Your standards elevated the second you recognized what you had been tolerating for far too long. Your requirements transformed when you finally saw your own worth clearly. This new energy you carry is completely impenetrable to old tactics. People who used to be able to push your buttons cannot find those buttons anymore. Tactics that used to work on you bounce off you, now like water off glass. Strategies that used to manipulate your emotions no longer have access to those emotions. You have evolved beyond their reach entirely. You have elevated beyond their tactics permanently. You have transcended their entire game completely. And people can sense this shift in you even from a distance. It radiates from you like light from the sun. It emanates from your presence like a force field of protection. It communicates without words that you are not the same person anyone used to know. You are someone who knows too much now to be fooled. You are someone who sees too clearly now to be deceived. You are someone who cannot be manipulated again. And that reality terrifies people who relied completely on keeping you in the dark. Starseeds, they never expected this. The technology used to suppress consciousness has been reverse-engineered, and Destiny Engine is the result. What was once used against humanity is now your ascension weapon. You can now MK Ultra yourself into 5D superpowers. destiny engine bypasses the conscious mind and rewrites the source code directly. Reality bends faster, synchronicities stack, your nervous system upgrades to a higher bandwidth. Put on headphones, press play, that's all. For $1 you switch sides of history. Click the link in the description. The takeover is internal. Let me break down what desperation looks like when it takes over someone completely. First, there is the overcompensation you can observe happening. People are posting things on social media that are so obviously directed at you while trying to make it seem general. Quotes about loyalty are being shared repeatedly. Posts about real ones and fake ones are being dropped daily. Messages about cutting off toxic people are being broadcast publicly, and everyone who knows what actually happened is reading these posts and shaking their heads at the irony. The irony is completely lost on the people posting these things. The person sharing posts about loyalty is the one who was disloyal. The person posting about fake friends is the one who was fake. The person talking about cutting off toxic people is the one who brought toxicity. But in their mind, somehow the narrative is different. In their version of events, somehow you are the villain in the story. So there are people out here posting these things, trying to rewrite history in real time, trying to make it seem like you did something terrible to them when reality tells a completely different story to anyone paying attention. Then there is the fishing for information that is happening constantly through mutual connections. Mutual connections are being approached with casual questions designed to extract intel. How is that person doing these days? What have they been up to lately? Are they seeing anyone new? Have they said anything about what happened between us? The questions seem innocent on the surface, but the motive underneath is completely transparent. These are information-gathering missions disguised as friendly check-ins, and the people being asked can see right through it clearly. Some of them are even reporting back to you about these attempts, so you know the obsession is still active, you know the monitoring is still happening, you know the inability to let go is still present. And then there is the digital stalking that would be funny if it was not so pathetic to witness. Blocked or not, people are finding ways to check on you online. Fake accounts are being created just to view your posts without being detected. Friends are being asked to show them what you are sharing. Your name is being searched regularly to see what comes up in results. Screenshots are being taken and analyzed for hidden meanings. Every story you post is being watched immediately. Every photo you share is being examined closely. Every update you give is being dissected for clues about your life. This behavior reveals everything you need to know about their current state mentally. If someone truly did not care about you anymore, there would be no checking on you. If someone genuinely moved on, there would be no monitoring of your activities. If someone was actually happy where they are, there would be no obsession with where you are. The fact that your life still occupies so much of their mental space tells you they are not at peace. The fact that they cannot stop watching you tells you they are not healed. The fact that they are still so invested tells you they are still suffering from their choices. Your silence is doing more work than 1,000 words ever could at this point. Every day that passes without you saying anything publicly is another day of torture for people who are waiting for you to explode. The anticipation is eating them alive slowly. The uncertainty is destroying their peace completely. The not knowing is driving them absolutely insane. And you are accomplishing all of this by simply choosing not to speak publicly about what happened. Think about the power in that for a moment. You are winning a psychological war without firing a single shot. You are maintaining the upper hand without making a single public move. You are keeping people off balance without saying a single word to anyone. Your silence is a weapon more effective than any confrontation could be. Your quiet is a statement louder than any speech you could give publicly. Your peace is a message clearer than any explanation you could provide to people, because here is what your silence communicates to everyone watching. It says you are unbothered by what happened. It says you have moved on with your life. It says their actions did not break you permanently. It says their betrayal did not destroy you completely. It says their schemes did not defeat you ultimately. And that message is devastating to people who invested so much energy into trying to bring you down. That reality is crushing to people who celebrated what they thought was your downfall. That truth is unbearable to people who built their identity around being the ones who got away with something. Your silence also protects your peace in ways that speaking never could accomplish. Every time you choose not to engage, you are choosing yourself. Every time you decide not to respond, you are prioritizing your healing process. Every time you refuse to react, you are maintaining your power position. And that consistency is building something beautiful in you over time. It is strengthening your boundaries significantly. It is solidifying your standards permanently. It is confirming your worth unquestionably. You are learning through your silence that you do not owe anyone your energy. You do not owe anyone your time or attention. You do not owe anyone your explanation. You only owe yourself peace and healing. People are watching this situation unfold and drawing conclusions without you having to say anything at all. The contrast between how you are moving and how others are moving is speaking louder than words ever could. You are taking the high road consistently every single time. You are maintaining your dignity constantly through every challenge. You are preserving your peace intentionally, despite provocations. Meanwhile, certain others are spiraling publicly for all to see, contradicting themselves repeatedly in their stories, acting desperate obviously to anyone paying attention. This contrast is creating a narrative all on its own without your input. People who were neutral before are picking sides now based solely on behavior they observe. No one needs to tell them who was wrong in the situation. No one needs to explain who caused the problem originally. No one needs to defend anyone's character or actions. The way everyone is handling this situation is revealing everything people need to know. Your grace is speaking volumes about your character. Your composure is communicating your strength. Your peace is preaching your truth. You are gaining respect from people who may not even know the full story of what happened. The way you are carrying yourself through adversity is earning you credibility everywhere. The way you are maintaining your standards despite challenges is building you a solid reputation. The way you are staying solid while everything around you shakes is establishing you as someone of true character, and this reputation will follow you into your next season of life. People will remember how you moved during this difficult time. They will recall that you did not stoop to low levels of behavior. They will respect that you stayed true to yourself when it would have been easy to become bitter. Meanwhile, others are creating a very different reputation for themselves entirely. People will remember the lies that were told publicly and privately. They will recall the manipulation that was attempted repeatedly. They will not forget the desperation that was displayed obviously, and that reputation will haunt certain people moving forward in life. Because once people see who you really are when pressure is applied, that image is hard to change. Once people witness how you handle conflict, that impression tends to stick permanently. Once people observe how you treat others when you think no one important is watching, that characterization becomes fixed. Everything you lost is being replaced with something better right now in real time. Not similar, not equivalent, better in every measurable way, upgraded beyond comparison, elevated beyond what you had before. That relationship that ended painfully, the connection coming into your life makes you grateful it ended when it did. That opportunity that was blocked deliberately, the door opening for you now is bigger than you imagined possible. That peace that was disturbed constantly, the serenity you are experiencing now runs deeper than you have ever known before. You are learning through this process that sometimes what feels like loss is actually divine redirection. Sometimes what looks like a closed door is actually protection from the wrong room. Sometimes what seems like an ending is actually the setup for a better beginning. The universe was making space in your life for what you truly deserved. The divine was clearing out what was mediocre to make room for what is magnificent. The process was preparing you for what was always meant to be yours from the beginning. And now you can see it happening in real time before your eyes. The pieces are falling into place in ways that make perfect sense now. The timing is aligning in ways that seem orchestrated perfectly. The connections are forming in ways that feel destined and meant to be. You are walking into your purpose with more clarity than ever before in your life. You are stepping into your power with more confidence than you thought possible to have. You are claiming your position with more certainty than you have ever felt. This is what was always meant for you from the start. This level of living, this peace of mind, this power to choose, this purpose to fulfill. Everything you went through was preparation for this moment you are in now. Every tear you cried watered seeds that are blooming beautifully now. Every night you spent in pain was labor before this glorious birth. Every moment you thought you could not go on was building the strength you are using now. You are not the same person who entered that difficult season of testing. You have been refined by fire into something pure. You have been shaped by pressure into something valuable. You have been transformed by the journey into someone powerful. Your success is not just success to certain people watching you now. It is evidence that their plan failed miserably. It is proof that their schemes did not work at all. It is confirmation that their attempts to destroy you were completely unsuccessful, and that reality is something their ego cannot process or accept. They need you to fail to validate their choices and actions. They need you to struggle to justify what they did to you. They need you to stay stuck to prove they had power over your life. But you are doing the exact opposite of what they need. You are thriving beyond expectations. You are glowing with an inner light. You are winning at levels they cannot reach, and every win you achieve feels like a personal attack to them. Every door that opens for you feels like a door closing for them. Every blessing you receive reminds them of what they threw away foolishly. Every level you reach highlights how far they have fallen. Your success is holding up a mirror to their failure. Your peace is contrasting their chaos dramatically. Your growth is exposing their regression clearly. This is why the foolish behavior continues without stopping. This is why the desperate moves keep coming repeatedly. This is why the obsession will not end anytime soon. People cannot handle watching you win because your winning means they lost. People cannot handle seeing you happy because your happiness means they made the wrong choice. People cannot handle witnessing your elevation because your elevation means they miscalculated badly. And people who have built their entire identity on being smart and strategic cannot admit they made a dumb decision. So instead of taking accountability for their actions, certain people double down on the lies. Instead of admitting they were wrong, they create new stories to tell. Instead of facing what they did honestly, they project it onto you. And this cycle will continue until something forces them to face themselves honestly. That something might be hitting rock bottom hard. That something might be losing everything valuable. That something might be being alone with their thoughts long enough that avoidance is no longer possible. But until that something happens, the foolishness will persist. While certain people are busy stressing about what you know, you are busy building what they will never have. You are creating a future they cannot access or touch. You are forming connections they cannot reach or influence. You are developing yourself in ways they cannot comprehend or understand. You are investing in your growth while others are stuck in their bitterness. You are focused on your elevation while others are focused on your downfall. You are playing a completely different game on a completely different board altogether. Your future is bright because you chose healing over revenge. Your future is blessed because you chose faith over fear. Your future is abundant because you chose to believe you deserved better. Every choice you made to prioritize your peace is paying dividends now. Every decision you made to protect your energy is showing returns today. Every time you chose yourself over comfort or familiarity, you were investing in this future. And this future is going to blow your mind completely. The people you will meet will amaze you. The places you will go will transform you. The things you will experience will fulfill you. The levels you will reach will astound you. All of it is going to exceed what you imagined possible. All of it is going to make sense why certain things had to end. All of it is going to show you why the pain was necessary. You will look back on this season and be grateful for every tear you cried. You will understand why every door had to close firmly. You will see clearly why every person had to leave your life, because what is coming is worth everything you went through, honestly. The joy is worth the pain you endured. The peace is worth the chaos you survived. The love is worth the heartbreak you experienced. The success is worth the struggle you faced. The elevation is worth the testing you passed. And you will stand in your new reality, thanking the universe for not giving you what you thought you wanted back then. You will be grateful that certain prayers went unanswered. You will understand that what felt like rejection was actually divine protection preparing you for this.